Why can't I run? Jog.
I can't wait to go shopping. I'm dying to get some Choco Crisp.
That's what I said.
Daniel.
Welcome back to Life is Strange 2. Last time we played, we found out that the government is coming after us, and our mom is willing to sacrifice her own freedom so we can escape and go to Mexico. All very thrilling and fantastic. We're at a point where I believe we're going to be saying our goodbyes, and then who knows what's going to happen. So, get to it. Oh, we have a shit ton more money. We get to write a letter to our mom. The funny part to me is, like, will she even see the letter if she goes to jail for us? Who knows? Who knows? We get the choice to say, hey, Mom, or hey, Karen. I've mentioned this a couple times. When a kid says, hey, Karen, or like, not hey, Karen. When a kid says, like, hey, and like, Mom's name, it implies that there's more distance, to the point where it's kind of shocking to hear that in the game. Because society just raises to say mom, mother. Mother even feels more distant. Ugh. Like, we're used to calling moms mom, like it is their name. So when we call our moms by their name, it feels strange. We usually do that if we've kind of disowned our parents. And usually it takes a lot for that to happen. These are huge generalities. So like, take that with a grain of salt if your own personal experience is different from that. And I fully recognize that. So, but when this is a choice, it implies that we can basically say that we have that we feel like we're closer to our mom if we say hey mom. I guess I feel like doing that. I guess I feel like choosing to encourage Sean to like be closer to her. Hey mom.
Hey Mom. I know you're better with words than me, but still.
Let's not minimize ourselves. I think I finally get you, or thanks for Daniel. I don't know how important this choice is. To me, the choice of saying, I think I finally get you feels more important because like that conversation with our mom in the hotel where she was saying her reasoning behind why she left the kids, even though it hurt them and she knew that was a lot. And Sean has spent a great deal of his life really being bitter about his mom and not understanding that choice. So to be at a place where we can say, I think I get it. I mean, as much as I can, is a lot. Like, that's a lot. I don't know what the other choice is actually even talking about at this point. Like, thank you for coming out and helping. I couldn't have done it without you. But it feels more, I guess, emotional to say, I get it.
It took me some time, but I think I get why you are who you are. Maybe we're not that different.
Wow. Don't give up on your freedom, or sorry for getting you into trouble. I feel like either way we're sorry. And like, sorry in the sense that we wish that things could be different kind of a sorry, but yet we're still going to accept her help. So like, that feels like a weird sorry, not sorry. I feel like saying don't give up on your freedom would be more impactful to these characters though. So let's go with that.
Please don't give up on your freedom. Okay? It's the best thing you've taught us.
Exactly.
We'll reach it once we find our own freedom. Thank you so much. Love. Sean.
I wonder if you would have signed it differently if we hadn't said, hey, Mom. Because even when Karen wrote her own parents, she crossed out love when she was signing those letters. I don't think we need to read it. Don't leave a letter, rewrite, leave as is. So we can rewrite it if we don't like how the letter turned out. The rewriting also at a certain point feels like, yes, there's a very practical nature of we didn't know what choices we were going to make, therefore we can rewrite it. But when we talk about this character, though, of Sean, there's a certain point where rewriting also feels like that same kind of minimizing and not recognizing our own strengths. Like, it's fine the way it is. We don't have to keep redoing everything. I don't want to not leave a letter. So this feels like it may be impactful, but let's just leave it. So yeah, that was choice, I guess. I don't know how impactful. Oh, we can even go back right now and change it.
Look at that.
Oh, they even have pictures.
Don't ever leave us alone.
FBI, so police seek family after Nevada fire. FBI and Nevada police are searching for a woman and her 2 teenage sons after a suspicious fire destroyed a church in Haven Point, Nevada. Well, I guess that's that. I don't think most of this here would be new. Hey,
Sean.
Hey. Aaron said you wanted to see me?
Yeah,
Is
but go grab that police scanner inside first.
this license
I gotta
plates?
put these new plates on the car.
Sure.
Damn!
I'm on it.
I'll join you when I'm done.
I guess when I think of a soldier, which is how he talked about himself, I don't picture, like, someone so well-versed in criminal activity things. Whatever.
Arthur said David could fix anything. He hopes.
If he has the TV. Okay, so we can grab the police scanner. I want to look at other things first.
As if money could make up for everything he's lost.
Dear Mr. Madsen, enclosed is your most recent deposit statement from the city of Arcadia Bay, which is from the first game. As per your negotiated settlement for damages, is that where he lost his wife? Please ensure the amount is accurate and that your bank has processed the last deposit. Or his house. Like, so he lost shit in whatever happened with Arcadia Bay, which I don't want to say in case people may not have played, but like, obviously shit went down if we're getting insurance money. Oh, damn.
Must be his wife.
Oh, fuck!
Time's taking a serious toll on him since this. Poor guy.
Fuck. So, if you haven't played the first Life is Strange game, this picture, you would not know that this picture is meaningful. If you have played the game, you would know this picture is meaningful. I have played the first Life is Strange game, but it's been ages. I barely remember most of it. I mean, I remember the end, because the end is like, that's a choice. That's a chonkin' choice there. I don't know how else to describe that choice. It's a chonkin' choice. You don't forget that, right? But then everything from the beginning to the end, I've pretty much forgotten. But I do remember that character. So the character to the very right is from Life is Strange. And if I do remember some random details here or there, did not have a great family life, which explains how this character was talking about his stepkid. Damn. Damn. Okay. That's some context. Some context. Because when you start playing Life is Strange 2, it asks you, like, do you have a Life is Strange 1 save file? And if you say no, it's like, cool, we'll just like create one. We'll just like slam some shit together and create one. And you can gather from context clues which ending they chose for you. Oh, now that I think about it, based on the context clues of which ending they chose for me, and the things that he said about his stepkid. Huh. Damn, that I was not expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting, but not that. I'm glad I didn't just grab the police scanner and skedaddle out of here.
That must have been the best meal ever, to frame it on the wall.
Isn't that also from Arcadia Bay?
Yeah. Me and David won't be sharing any playlist.
What other
It
things?
would be weird to be back on the road with Daniel.
What other things
After all
are
this
here
time in a community.
from
Yep.
Life is Strange 1?
David is ready for that apocalypse. Or whatever.
God, I need to replay the first game so I get all these references.
They look cool. I wonder which one is his daughter.
I wonder if this is from Before the Storm, which I didn't play. So if this is a reference to Before the Storm, I wouldn't pick up on it.
Cool portraits. Didn't think David had a taste for the arts.
I mean, Katie Bay will change a person. I hope you close this curtain before you shower and shit. Bathe, that's like... Oh yeah, no, it's a bath. It's a bath. I was like, where is your shower? Damn. Can we peek in your box?
Damn. I see why David ended up out here.
Is a letter?
But he still was a hero.
This was here. V. What was the name of that? That was Chloe, wasn't it? I don't need to look it up. Wasn't it Chloe? Chloe was the blue-haired girl. This is like testing my knowledge of Life is Strange, which I played ages ago. Dear Mr. Madsen, sorry this is so late, but I put the wrong P.O. box address on the envelope and the letter was returned. Hope this one finds you. I'm glad you left Arcadia Bay. I was going to say, or what's left of it. I'm now going to therapy. That's fantastic. Which helps. But I still get nightmares. I hope that Max and Chloe, yeah, Chloe's the one with the blue hair. Max is the main character from the first Life is Strange game, are keeping you company. They're a good team. I'm still in Seattle looking over my parents' gallery. Their partner Jessica is great. She's taking care of everything. The will is a mess, but I will be okay. It's hard to get over the fact that in a way I owe my life to Mark Jefferson throwing me in his fucking bunker. I get flashes of his creep face all the time, so that's trauma. But then I see yours coming to rescue me. Again, I wonder how much of this is from Before the Storm. I'll probably be thanking you for the rest of my life for that. Please keep in touch at this address for a while and let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Thanks again for your service. Best wishes, V. Chase. I don't know who that is. Damn, though. Damn.
Wonder where David got this police scanner.
I don't know. Wait, no. Yes, I do. Wasn't he a cop? Wasn't Chloe's dad a cop? That's why the family, like, life shit was also like not great. Like, played into statistically accurately, but like still not great. Like, who are you gonna go to for help about this? I don't know if I'm remembering that right. I think I am.
Okay, how does this thing work?
Oh no. You ask me like I've used one.
Okay.
Were we
We
supposed to
search between 140 and 160.
Were we supposed to grab it or use it?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Please.
Who's
Please
testing?
don't let the cops come looking for us out here.
They were testing like around here.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I
1,
need to finish
2,
this.
3.
That isn't it?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Alex? Jonas? Hey, Alex? Guys, do you copy? Come on, pick up. Please.
Oh, I suppose I'm supposed to be looking for the police and not whoever this is. That makes more sense.
Don't think so. Keep scanning.
Go on, sir. All I was saying is, now you have these eco-terrorists trying to shut down our way of life. just to punish us.
I know this isn't cops, but I want to hear what they have to say.
Anymore without getting some fine.
When we're in Mexico, we won't have to deal with this shit anymore.
I mean, why is there snow?
I mean, why is there snow?
Sir, for not buying into the climate propaganda. You all know I have spent my whole life.
This reminds me of that character from Spider-Man, who's voiced by the same guy who voices Cave Johnson.
And we can do whatever we
That's what this reminds me of, and I can't think of the character's name. I can't think of the voice actor's name either.
will be back to.
Climate propaganda. I mean, why does it snow anyways? Fucking hell. Climate's a lie. The moon landing was a lie. I'm getting way too distracted. Oh god, it's another radio station. If they give me too many radio stations,
Definitely
I'm gonna
not.
get way too distracted before I find the cops.
Rock and roll.
Okay, that one's easy to turn away from. And the static like becomes a different kind of static. That's why I'm like, what are you? I'm not looking for anything paranormal.
Uh, 136, listening.
There we go.
We've got reports of a 1010 down
Wait.
by
What's a
Is
1010?
This it?
Sam's. Shit.
Now we can spy on the cops all the way to Mexico.
I'm on my
Thanks,
way.
David. You big rebel.
Now. If I'm remembering that right. God, I hope I'm remembering that right. Wonder how many players like learn that and then become like very prejudiced towards that character because of the first game. But it also implies like Chloe doesn't hate him anymore. It's a lot of forgiveness and growth.
My mom's car is all ready to roll. Did you get the police scanner?
Yep. And I found the police frequency.
How about that? Good job. Now, you'll always want to know what they're up to. No surprises on your way to the border. All right. This is the fastest route. When you get there, cross between these two stations. Now, you have to exit the main road and drive through the desert for a while.
Is
But
his
Karen's
tattoo
car should be
in
okay.
memory of like his
You got
wife?
all that?
Sure. Think so.
Sean, you have to know.
I didn't get any of that. I was very much distracted by who his character is. And if his tattoo is in memory of his wife, I was not paying any fucking attention. If you could repeat all of that again, I will do my darndest to pay attention. I swear.
The
For
police
realsies.
are on your ass.
I'm aware.
You only get one chance here. I'm not
Just
trying
like
to
the
be
rest
a
of the
dick.
game.
Just honest.
Except I don't have plot
I know,
armor
dude.
anymore.
Thanks.
Because my plot armor existed to get me here,
Here,
not past here.
have a seat. I don't mean to order you around. Bad habits die hard.
Are you recording?
And yes, I was suspicious when Karen showed up with you two. But after watching you and your little brother for a while, I think I get what you're going through. When our town was destroyed by that hurricane, my stepdaughter and her friend were among the only survivors. We lost everyone else.
I honestly would have thought that this character would have died in the town too. The implication is sort of at the time that like everybody dies. The implication is kind of like everybody's trash in the town. And so I guess, you know, I'm not going to hide spoilers anymore. If you don't want spoilers for Life is Strange 1, for what I remember of it, which may be inaccurate, so take that as you will, then, like, skip ahead in the video, whatever. So, like, the choice being, you know, the end choice of Life is Strange 1, which is, like, I guess a hard choice. Like, do you want to save everybody in the town from the hurricane? Or do you want to save Chloe and, like, screw everybody else in the town? And, like, the implication being, from everything else that you've seen in the game up until now, everybody else in the town is trash. Like, you know, like her family, again, don't remember details on that, but, like, you know, not great home life. And, like, you know, kids at school who are bullies, like, all these things that, like, show you that, like, town is trash, full of trash people, or your friend. But then it also becomes this debate of, like, who do you save, the many or the one, right? It becomes these, like, weird mental debate kind of things. But I guess my thought would be, like, if he was in the town, like, wouldn't he have also been in the hurricane? It was like a tornado. It was a big chunkin' storm.
Jeez. I'm sorry.
I used to hate them for running away. They hit the road straight away, never to look back, while I was trying to rebuild.
Their entire home was destroyed. Like, at that point, the implication is that Max's family was gone too. So if everybody in the town that you know, like, everybody is gone, except for, like, your stepdad that you don't like, where the implication is, like, not great. What would you do? Especially if you're old enough to leave. Like, it makes sense. Get along now, or why come here? Yeah, do you get along now? Because based on what he said earlier, the implication is that they don't have as bad of a relationship, but that doesn't mean they get along.
Did you stay in touch? Do you get along now?
Yeah. Took me a while to...
That's a lot of growth.
The past was the past, and move on. Like they did. Once I realized that, I reached out to them, and we made peace with each other. They stayed here for a while. It felt good to connect with my daughter, at last. You guys remind me of them, in a way, and I don't want to fuck things up this time. Sean, I'm gonna do everything I can to help you get out of here. That's my duty now. But I want to be straight up with you, okay?
Yeah, of course.
I know you guys got screwed, that you think nobody will ever believe you. But the truth is on your side. You and Daniel can't just hide out forever. Is that how you see yourself in 10 years? If you step up and face the law, you can be free.
That's a big ask. Because, like, the law was, again, the law is what killed their dad. That's a big ask. When every experience we've had with the law up until now has been not great.
Sooner than later.
Ooh, turn myself in or want a new life. I agree with what he's saying in general. This idea that we can't just keep running from things. Like, that I agree with. But it's a big ask. It's a huge ask. Because again, if every experience we've had with the law has been horrible, then how do we get over that enough to see the benefit that can come from the other side of not having to run anymore, not having to look over our shoulders anymore, being able to start over anew? Because every turn, everything's been not great with, like, law enforcement or things like that, and that's who you got to turn yourself into. Let's say we do turn ourselves in. What does Sean say?
I don't know. I might turn myself in
But then what about Daniel?
after I see what happens with Daniel.
I know you want to settle down first, but keep your options open. Think about it. And Daniel is growing up fast.
Yeah, but
Too fast.
he can't be on his own. He's not that old.
That's what I'm worried about.
You made it here. So, I know you're on the right path.
Oh, it's a phone. I also feel like it's a lot easier if he is an ex-cop. I also feel like it's easier for a cop or someone who was a cop to say turn yourself in than it is for someone whose every experience with the cops has been terrible. We're gonna have different views of cops. Then it's gonna be like different levels of how big that ask is.
Oh. Sorry. I really have to take this. Hey, sweetie. What's up?
How would this have interaction have been if, like, Chloe was not around anymore?
Shit. Told you New Yorkers were assholes.
Is it? I can't eavesdrop anymore?
I know.
Oh, okay.
How about that other gallery she told me about? Cool. Fingers crossed then.
I suppose I can't just eavesdrop forever.
Let's check you out one last time.
So we can talk to our mom.
Hey.
Oh.
Need any help?
Scared her.
Just checking out the levels and cleaning up the filters.
We're really getting prepared. Didn't know you were a gearhead. Truck will make it. Never got into cars. She might have learned stuff from our dad, though, when she was with him. Let's just ask if the truck will make it.
So, do you think your truck will make it all the way to the border?
Oh, it will. It's never failed me before. How long have you been driving for?
Not long enough. Dad taught me, but I always had other plans. We didn't go cruising too much.
Esteban was obsessed with his engines.
I mean, he was a mechanic.
That doesn't mean you had to be too.
Fair. Again, that goes into this idea that we can have our own identities. Wanted to find myself, he was old-fashioned. Yeah, wanted to find myself. That's the same thing that I said. Same thing.
Yeah. He only wanted me to find my own way. Whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I had more time.
Like art school or
Listen,
whatever.
Esteban loved you and Daniel for exactly who you are. He would be proud that you're going back to his homeland today.
He'd be proud of whatever they decided to do, as long as it's what their choice was. I guess within reason, right? Because there was that comment about he wouldn't want them to be criminals. Wish he was here, ever been there together. I mean, let's say that we wish he was here. We haven't had time to process his loss, not really.
Wish he was here with us. It's bullshit that we get to see Puerto Lobos, but he doesn't.
I know. But Esteban is still with you. And he always wanted you and Daniel to see where he came from.
I don't know anything about Mexico. It's scary.
Sean, you're carrying the weight of two people on your shoulders now. It's okay to be nervous.
It's okay to be
I'm
nervous
just tired of running,
regardless.
of causing trouble everywhere we go.
Daniel's power is overwhelming, and we don't know where it comes from. But you do know your brother. You'll be there for each other.
Just want this to be over. Not sure I can do this or the power freaks me out. I mean, saying that it is scary is again being vulnerable. It's okay to be nervous regardless of why we're nervous, too. It doesn't just have to be because we're also responsible for our brother. it also feels vulnerable to say, not sure that I can do this. So let's say that.
I'm scared shitless.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I can do this. Or if we can start a new life. But I'm the only one that can take him to safety.
Your brother sure isn't a little kid anymore. He had to grow up too fast.
They both have.
He wants to be equals. And you guys are gonna have to work together. He may even help you make it.
The game doesn't acknowledge that Sean is still a kid. That he was a kid when all this started. There's a lot of conversations about, well, you're responsible for your brother now. You're responsible for your brother now. But, like, Sean didn't have the chance to enjoy being a teenager. Like, you know, or maybe you're right. We just called her mom earlier. I don't feel like being sarcastic while a very teenage thing to do. Let's just go with maybe you're right.
Maybe you're right.
You'll figure it out, like you always do. Okay. Better get back to my tune-up.
All right. I'll make one last round before leaving.
I don't think there's much else to make rounds on. We can say goodbye to these guys.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, guys.
Can we say? Oh, we can't talk to them.
I came by to say adios. We're taking off today.
No, you're not. Really?
Pretty sure we are.
Everything okay?
Yeah, just time to go.
Well, shit. Wish you and Daniel could stay longer.
Yeah, like us too. Too risky for everyone. We gotta cross that border. These feel like the same. Too risky for everyone.
Yeah, but it's too risky, especially for all of you.
We all took a risk moving here. Look, we can hide you from the cops.
Damn.
Not these ones. They want my ass. It's better if we leave now.
Sean, I won't drag this out and get bitter. Besides, you and Daniel will be back to visit, right?
It's like a weird joking guilt trip. I don't think it's intended to be like an actual guilt trip. It's almost more like, please reassure me that this won't be the end.
We'll try. I'm glad this place will be our last U.S. memory.
You and your little brother will always have friends here. And a home. Okay, I'm done babbling. I just hate goodbyes.
I expect a
I know you're
hug.
both gonna have a great life in Mexico. You better.
We're gonna make it work. Shit. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Take care. You hear?
There we go.
Watch out for Daniel.
Everybody's been so
He needs
supportive
you.
here. It would almost
Be
be like
safe.
weird if there wasn't some type of a
Send us
hug.
a postcard of the beach.
If they were willing to like hide us from the cops, it just would strike me as weird if they weren't willing to give us a hug, or like, you know, if that wasn't their goodbye.
Looks like we got everything.
Because there's a certain level of closeness that comes
Time to hit
with
the highway.
being willing to hide someone out, but yet there's not a
Woodcutter.
it's not a hug.
Who lives?
Hey. What's going on?
I think this is the only other person I have to say goodbye to.
Taking a look at this baby with hindsight. So, what do you think?
Oh, looks a bit off or looks very cool. I based it off of your design, so I'll say it looks cool.
Looks very cool. I can totally tell what you're doing.
Oh, good. That makes one of us. But I like it. Of course, you and Daniel, you did inspire me.
I love it.
So, you guys leaving now?
Yeah, just wanted to say goodbye.
Ah, that's sweet. You're so sweet. Your brother is so sweet. Having you boys around was the sweetest thing.
She repeats sweet just as much as Daniel repeats
This is for
cool.
all your help.
Really? Whoa,
That's cool.
that's great.
Do I get anything?
Your name is on a way bigger sculpture. For everyone to see.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Your brother needed a little something to remind him of the artist inside.
Wicked.
Okay, one big hug. And get out of here before we all start crying like babies.
Thank
It would
you.
have been nice if
Go
they
ahead,
could
for
have
everything.
stayed here.
Just please take care of yourself. And my special apprentice.
No worries. We always do.
Hey,
Everybody is so supportive.
is it okay if I hang out a bit longer?
If it's okay with her.
Oh, are you kidding? I need more help. So long, Sean. Don't be a stranger.
Aww.
I'll miss you so much, Joanne.
Like, this is the place that is, like... Of all the places that these kids have had to leave, this is the place that they've felt the most connected to, besides, like, their actual home. In the sense that these people seem to accept them no matter what. Like, unconditional type acceptance with these things, with the powers, with whatever. So to have to leave this feels sad. All right, well, let's leave.
Daniel, do you copy? It's time to wrap it up.
Be right there. Over.
So, did you get to say goodbye to Away?
Yeah.
I mean, as much as one
kinda
can.
sad.
I know.
Are we leaving yet?
We have to, and I know.
Come here.
Mom, I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too, Danny. It was amazing to spend this time with you. I'm so damn proud of you both and what you're gonna do with your life. And if you ever need me, I'm just around the corner.
Okay, Mom. Thank you.
Oh, he's crying.
Well, Sean, this is it.
What is our choice? Hug Karen or don't hug Karen? I mean, shit, we already called her mom at this point. Might as well, like, let's go all the way. Let's hug her. This feels like one of the easiest choices
Thanks,
I've made
Mom.
in the fucking game.
For being there.
Thanks for letting me, son.
Calling her mom to her face, too. And everybody's crying.
Let's hit the road.
Everybody's coming to say goodbye. See us off.
Take care, boys.
I thought the mom was gonna come with us. Now the letter makes way more sense. Now her asking how much we can drive also makes more sense.
Bye, everybody.
I hope they have another car to get groceries with. And let's hope we don't get pulled over on our way to the wall, because that would just be like the worst luck ever. Oh, where's your license and registration? About that. Neither. I have neither of those things. So also hope we have enough gas to get to the border. From Arizona, yeah. No, we'd probably have to refill. Is Arizona a border state? Yes. Yes, it is. I really don't know my geography. Somewhere out there's a history teacher that's rolling over, being like, I did not teach this person their geography enough.
Hey. Is something wrong?
Seat belt.
That's the
Seatbelt.
last time I have to say that.
I don't care about that.
Whoa.
So, what's the problem?
What? What are we gonna do in Puerto Lobos? We don't know anybody. We're like strangers. How long can we live there?
I don't know. Live like kings, no more running, new home. I mean, these are valid points, that there is more of a feeling of community. Shit, there's more of a feeling of community at the place they just left than there is in Seattle at this point. But every place that they've left, they've built a sense of community, and then they have to leave it. So everywhere in the US that they've lived before, that's where their sense of community is. This is where their connections are. That's where their home is. Whatever home they have left at this point. Again, if we talk about home as far as connections. So, I mean, that seems to be what Daniel's talking about, is in the sense of, we don't know anybody there. We're not going towards people. We're just going towards a place. The part of me that, like, is looking at the very practical side is, I wonder if there's, like, extradition agreements, treaties, whatever, between Mexico and the US. So, like, Mexico may not be the place to actually outrun criminal charges. Just putting that out there. Not a lawyer. But it's like a valid discussion. And this becomes this idea of, like, what are you going to do? It feels like the game is kind of encouraging turning yourself in. It's been brought up once. This idea is also this idea of, like, if we're not going towards something, why not turn ourselves in so then we can live our lives in whatever place we want to without having to run anymore. Because one of our actual responses is no more running. If you turn yourself in, you don't have to run anymore. No more running, live like kings, new home. What if we choose this option of no more running? Because if that is our motivation, again, there are other ways to get that.
How do you think we can live here? No more running, and I don't...
So, what are we gonna do for money and stuff?
I get a job, no worries. I mean, the no worries one sounds like, you don't worry about that, I worry about that, which would be either, like, I guess, stealing or get a job. But we can talk these things out with him. He's old enough, so we can just say that we'll get a job.
I get a job, man. It won't be hard. You can probably go to school.
Dude, I can't even speak Spanish. How can I make friends or do anything if I can't talk?
I'll teach you, or everybody likes you. Saying everybody likes you doesn't address his actual concern of not being able to speak the language, though. Saying I'll teach you does address that, but again, like, his frustrations are valid about this. These are very valid concerns.
I'll teach you, man.
You think so? That's cool.
You fit in everywhere we go, and we'll get to hang out too.
Well, that sounds okay. I guess.
Daniel, I get scared too, you know? But we'll be fine.
Okay. I trust you.
Feels like one of the first genuine times that Daniel has just flat out said, like, I trust you. And not been, like, rebellious or something like that, where it's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do because I feel like I know best. Seatbelts, please, both of you. Oh, that makes me nervous. I do wonder if this game is going to end a bit like the first game, where there's, like, you get, like, two big choices. Like, one choice, two options. Or if it's going to be something where it'll just be something where the result of all of our other choices, to the point where it's kind of set in stone. also feel kind of conflicted because the game has hinted a couple times at this idea that you can turn yourself in. If given that choice, I don't know which way I would lean towards, turn yourself in or go to Mexico. It'd probably depend on how it was brought up. That's a very big wall.
That looks so big.
Yep. That is a big wall.
Dude, it's just a giant fence. Except it won't keep us in.
Yeah, not when you have powers. It's not exactly what the wall was built for, was it?
All units be advised. After the raid on the way, there was no sign of Sean and Daniel Diaz. We probably left within the past few hours.
You're just floating.
Considered armed and dangerous.
Right there.
With caution. At this time, only the mother of the fugitives has been arrested.
Oh.
Oh no. Sean, why would they arrest Mom? Why?
So they can give her shit.
Aiding and abetting?
She didn't do anything. The cops...
I mean, I do think that aiding and abetting is still technically a crime. In the eyes of the law. This is where we get into that thing of, like, not agreeing with charges, or, like, this idea of, like, does the situation justify the crime?
We'll have to let her go.
I hope so. Why can't they just leave us alone?
They're going to. Once we're over that fucking wall.
I hate to keep nitpicking at these things, Sean. Not a lawyer, but I do believe that there is, like, an extradition treaty thing, agreement between Mexico and the U.S. Like, I think that's a thing. So I don't think they just, like, have to leave you alone. Are we gonna get our supplies?
This should last until Puerto Lobos.
So why are we out of the car?
Unless our car breaks down in the desert.
Hey, Sean,
Yes.
why would they build this?
Ho ho ho! That question, how do you answer that question? Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out how Sean answers it. I feel like the more I think about this stuff and, like, how do you explain this, it becomes very difficult to explain things like this wall without getting political. It's easy to say something like, well, some people just don't like people who weren't born in this country. Therefore, they feel the need to make sure that people who aren't in this country stay out of this country. And invest a great deal of infrastructure in that. But there's so much more to it. There's so much, like, history behind these, like, this explanation. There's so much political conversation that goes behind this type of stuff. These are very difficult conversations to have without getting into, like, the history and the politics and all that other stuff. There's just so much to it. I don't know how else to, like, make that simple without getting into, like, history and politics and, like, oh, like, these are conversations. These are big, hefty conversations. Kids don't know that, which is why they're like, why is there a wall? And why is it so big? And then I feel like adults like me look at that like, oh, about that.
Well, you know, it's a border, man.
Is there a wall like...
I feel like Sean might have felt that same, like, deep in his soul. And then it's like, I don't know the words for this. I don't know the words for this. So I'm just going to say, you know. I mean, Daniel doesn't know. That's why he asked. It's just a border. This is what you do at borders. And Daniel's obviously confused because I feel like he's going to ask, like, do they have borders like this at every wall? Or do they, that does, sentence does make sense. Do they have walls like this at every border? And the answer is going to be, no.
This up north?
Nah, not really.
So, why did they build one here?
Because of, like, all that history stuff that I said and all that political stuff that I said, like, there's a lot there.
I don't know, Daniel.
That sucks.
So there's a lot of like xenophobia that goes into that question. You don't know that, Daniel, but that's what we're talking about. And racism.
Is Dad's house in Mexico going to be totally trash or what?
I'm sure it is. Whatever.
You know, when we stopped here, I thought we were just gonna get out. Like, I thought we were gonna do like a superhero jump over because of the powers. But then we have the supplies that we're not taking out of the trucks, and now it's like, are we gonna superhero jump the truck over? I don't know, but we're not doing anything except getting asked very difficult questions. I don't want very difficult questions anymore. Can we get back into the car?
Right?
We can't.
It's gonna be super easy with my power.
Are we going to it? We're just walking towards it, but the supplies are in the car. What are we doing? Daniel, stop asking me difficult questions. Fuck, child. I have to ask, as someone who's never seen this border wall before, is this like pre 2016 border wall, or is this like post Trump border wall? I'm just curious.
Opposite of Seattle. We're at the end of America.
I mean, oh, I don't think this is gonna go well. This is like a road, so people patrol.
I didn't think there'd be more than a barbed wire fence out here.
I have to know. I have to know. Oh my gosh, it was an actual fence. I can't tell information on whether this is pre or post Trump wall. I also forgot all of my buttons with all of my Googling. Okay, nope. There we go. Ask to destroy. That won't be noticeable at all. It may not be exactly
So,
the border wall that is currently up,
we
but it
are,
looks
Daniel.
sure as shit a lot like
End
it.
of the road.
Finally. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Take it easy. You can do it.
Dude, it's hard.
That's why I thought you were just gonna yeet us over. Damn.
I can't.
It's all right. Take your time. Stay focused.
Shit.
I'm with you, Daniel.
Give the kid a Choco Crisp.
Almost there.
Fuck, that's imagery.
You alright, Superwolf?
Almost.
It's okay. It's okay. Just breathe. Shh. Breathe.
Damn.
We did it!
We fucked that shit up.
Yep, that is very true.
Yes! It's all thanks to you.
It's gonna be alright now.
If you're gonna go through, now's the time
hardest part.
before someone
Thanks
patrols.
for taking me down here, Sean.
Nah. We did it together, man.
It's a
Come
lot of
on.
bonding.
Let's go back to the car.
Oh man! Oh, I cannot wait to go swimming in the ocean.
So now there's something to look forward to in Mexico.
That would be cool if we could just walk to the beach.
Why can't I run?
I
Jog.
can't wait to go shopping. I'm dying to get some Choco Crisp.
That's what I said.
Daniel! Daniel! Daniel, talk to me! Daniel! Talk to me! Huh? Oh. No.
It was just
No
the
way,
shoulder,
not now.
right?
Daniel! Hey! Who are you? Did you shoot my brother? Hey,
Fuck!
Oh shit, Madison. I told you he was a fucking kid.
Get off of me! Get off of me!
Well,
Daniel!
is he?
They're not even like Border Patrol. They're people who want to play Border Patrol.
My brother!
He's okay. Bullet just grazed
Let me
him.
go!
Do not move if you want to keep that arm. Comprende? Keep an eye on the
Wow.
wall.
That's
These fuckers blew it
racist.
up so their friends can cross.
Does it?
So what's the plan, huh? I bet there's a dozen more coming through, right?
No!
Does it look like it was a fucking bomb? Sort of. There would be blast patterns, there would be pieces of shrapnel. This is not a bomb. And also, that's pretty fucking racist. Just jumping to conclusions like that, based on, like, the amount of information that they have. They shot first and asked questions later. That's great. That's fantastic. And then they're like, oh, it was a kid. Well, yeah. You didn't know that because you shot first. They're making assumptions based on the race of our characters, the color of our skin, that we crossed the border, that we're not American citizens, that we blew up the wall to let other people through, which is not the fucking case. Like, we're trying to fucking leave. We're trying to go back there. We're trying to go to Mexico. And this character who's like pinning Sean down cares more about if we're letting people into America than how our brother is doing. So she cares more about if someone is being let into America than the life of a child. Like, what is more important here? My other hand isn't moving for the other side of the scale because I'm holding the controller. Just like immediate racism. Jumping to conclusions because the only information that they would have to go off of is the color of our skin and what happened to the wall. Also, if you look at what happened to the wall, it was pushed outward, and that's usually how like blasts work. It's usually not like being pulled in inherently, then like the blast is from this side of the wall. But she doesn't care about that because she's already made an assumption. She's already made up her mind. I need to breathe because they've already upset me.
We're leaving! Going to Mexico, I swear!
Wait. You're trying to break into Mexico. That's fucking funny.
We're Americans, or who are you? Also, it does not matter what country someone is from. This is still assault. Like, she is assaulting Sean. Like, if he's Mexican, then that's not assault. It's still assault. You guys are still not cops. You guys are still not Border Patrol. That does not justify what you're doing. But that's like how she's acting. It's almost like, well, because you guys are Mexican, then that justifies, then it's not assault. Then it's not being an asshole. Like, that's not how that works. Oh, it's so infuriating. We're Americans, or who are you?
It's not legal to blow up walls. That's called terrorism.
It's not legal to assault people either. It's also not legal to shoot a fucking kid. If he were to die, that's called murder. Like, really? I also don't know off the top of my head the definition of terrorism, but I believe the point of terrorism is to, cause terror, right? So usually terrorism is done where a lot of people can see it. It's a big thing, right? I'm thinking of like Two Towers and stuff like that, where like it's very public, it's very in the news, right? It usually involves people because of that nature, because the whole point of terrorism is called terrorism, because it causes terror, it inflicts fear on people. We're doing this in the middle of fucking nowhere. Whether or not this would be classified as terrorism probably depends on like how the media were to spin it. Don't get me wrong. This is more just like property damage. Really. Don't get me wrong, the federal government, I'm sure, doesn't like their property being fucking damaged. But it doesn't feel like terrorism. Again, like, the media can take something like this and call it terrorism if they basically were to say the reason behind the property damage is to inflict terror. That can totally be a thing. But, like, again, usually terrorism, from what I can think of, involves people, because that inherently instantly causes fear. It doesn't have to be spun a certain way. And that aside, because I will fully own I could be getting those definitions and those concepts wrong. I will own that. We still can't deny the fact that this is very pot and kettle. Feels sort of hypocritical for you to call me a terrorist and, oh, that's a crime. God, where have we heard that before? But then you are assaulting me literally right now. This holding me down is literally assault. And then your friend shot my child brother. Do you see how this is tracking? She doesn't, because she doesn't fucking care, but you
get it?
Look like a terrorist? We're going to Mexico. Does it matter? You do have an eye patch. It doesn't matter what we say now. She's already made up her mind off of very little information. I feel like this is one of those situations where it does not matter what we say. She's already decided that she hates us. I hate these parts of the game. You're not cops. Yeah.
You're not cops.
You're not.
You can't arrest us.
They can shoot you, though. We've found that out. We've found out multiple times in this game that you do not have to be a cop to shoot someone.
No, but we work with them. And they sure appreciate our help.
Looks like no one's coming for now.
Anyway, don't waste your energy. I bet the Border Patrol has a big plan for you, mister.
Madison, come on. We have to deal with this kid.
He's like kind of calling her out, but not really. Like, he's not calling her out on her bullshit. It feels like he's calling her out and wasting her time, which is not the same thing. The way that he also said deal with the kid makes me concerned. All things considered, like deal with how as in deal with help. Please be help. Please be help. Although if you were going to help, wouldn't you have helped first? Because I feel like what he did instead was looked for witnesses. Because his primary concern if you're looking for witnesses is being caught, not actually helping. I'm greatly concerned.
Still bleeding.
Don't touch him. Get off.
At this point, Border Patrol is fucking welcome. What the fuck?
Get it off. Stop. Get it off.
At least let him see that his brother's okay.
What the fuck is going on?
Exactly!
Where's Spencer?
He's off duty today. Why?
Oh. Oh. Is Spencer the one who's okay with you doing what you're doing? So maybe it's a little upsetting that your pal, your like good old boy, isn't there, so it's someone who may call you on your shit?
Listen, we have a deal. He knows.
Yeah, I heard about this crap.
Yeah.
Not happening anymore.
Yes!
Come on, Maddie. Do what the officer says. Fuck!
How old is he? He's all right, officer. Don't worry. Shut it. You're both
Thank
coming
you.
with me to the station.
What?
Thank
Are
you.
Kidding?
No!
They're illegals.
Also, we're not. Why also? We're not. But she says that like that justifies her fucking behavior, and it doesn't. That is such like racist and xenophobic and like bigotry behavior to say that because someone is illegal, because of someone's race, because of someone's whatever, that justifies my actions, and it doesn't. She is upset because she's getting consequences for her actions. I think the really hard part about this too is that when we sit back and we look at things that are like the sexism, racism, like all these like really hateful type beliefs that we have about the world, not like we, but like exist in the world type we. A lot of these things are generational, as in they are taught in some way, shape, or form from our family to us, kind of a thing. They're not taught overtly, as in our parents don't sit us down and say, we're gonna hate people of a certain country or a certain race. Don't get me wrong, I guess there can be people out there who say that, but that's not usually what happens. Usually we learn these things in very subtle ways. Most of the ways that we learn when we are growing up are learned through observation. So we will observe our parents. Maybe if we use anxiety for an example, we might observe our parents who clean up after us when we've already cleaned something, and that will maybe teach us a lesson because we've observed our parents doing something. So if our parents are doing that because of their own anxiety, like first of all, we as a kid wouldn't know that, but then we might pick up anxious behaviors because we just think that that's what you're supposed to do, and then we end up doing that ourselves as an adult, and maybe that's potentially how we can like pick up some stuff from our parents. When we talk about things like racism or sexism or things like that, this is the types of very subtle things that we might pick up from our parents are things like how they may treat someone differently depending on their gender. It may not even be just like subtle, it may not even be like outward comments. It may even just be this idea that maybe they're willing to go out of their way for someone to help them, but not another. And then we pick up on that stuff subtly. But the way that this changes is by inherently just trying to actually change your behaviors. Even to the point where we maybe look at ourselves and say, like, what are my beliefs? Do I have beliefs about certain people based on certain things that maybe aren't great? If we're defensive, we are far less likely to change. And that's what we're seeing here. Granted, this situation in the game is not something where the officer is like, you're kind of being racist. You're kind of being xenophobic here. That's not what is openly being said, but she is instantly defensive about any type of consequence for her actions. So I do think that this character would be instantly defensive if that was so outwardly said. And that type of defensiveness would not help us learn and grow and change past those types of behaviors. And that is one thing that I really do think helps get this stuff stuck so much in societies. We get defensive about it. We have a really hard time sitting there and sitting with it and saying, are these behaviors that I have? And a part of that probably is because society talks about these things as though it is a moral failing, as though we have failed as a human being somehow if we have these behaviors that show up. And we then become defensive if we feel like we have some type of a moral failing. Like, why would I want to feel like have a conversation with someone where I admit that I've, I as a human being have like failed and fucked up, made to the point where like you can't recover. Like that's what a moral failing is. So then we get defensive about stuff that as a culture, as a society is talked about that way. It makes it incredibly difficult to have conversations about things that our society talks about as a moral failing. Because if it's a moral failing too, we can't change it.
Fuck's sake! What'd I say? Oh. Okay. I... 'Cause... 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 'C
Take a breath. You okay now?
I have never been so happy to see an officer in my life.
Daniel!
What? I'm sorry, are you Sean? Sean Diaz?
Oh no.
You're under arrest.
It's better than those two assholes. Still. It's like we had to have one last racist hurrah before anything. I don't know, anything. God is watching. Oh God, they're there. Fuck you.
Don't look at me.
¿Estás bien? Sí.
They're nice.
Yo soy Diego. Mi esposa Carla. Y este frijolito de aquí es Ángel.
Oh, Ángela.
Encantado. Soy Sean. ¿Cómo te sientes, hijo? ¿Han visto un niño de 10 años? Es mi hermanito. Nos separaron cerca del muro. Está herido.
Lo llevaron a la enfermería. Si fuera grave, una ambulancia ya habría venido a buscarlo. Si lo dejaron
It was a gunshot wound. That's still serious.
aquí quiere decir que está bien.
Tranquilo, amigo. Aquí no hacen daño a los niños.
Considering what has happened in more recent times with America and how things are handled with people at the borders and kids, I can't tell if that's just like coincidence that comment is in there or if it's an actual jab saying they don't hurt kids here. This game is far too relevant still, and that makes me sad. I like them.
I wonder how long they've been here. And why?
What are your thoughts on these guys?
What the hell is wrong with these people?
We can speak to them. There's the officer. Try to speak to them.
This guy must be trained not to listen to anything we say.
The door.
That Campbell's almost done with the
No
paperwork.
way I can break through that door without Daniel's
We're
help.
not coming back.
Ugh.
The immediate assumption that they'll just be out as soon as the paperwork's done.
This place is fucking gross.
So, why is it okay for you to leave? But, like, it's totally okay for people who aren't white to be here?
¿Saben cuánto tiempo nos van a dejar aquí?
No.
Esta es la primera vez que intentan cruzar. Me acuerdo de nuestra primera vez. Casi morimos de sed en el desierto.
We aren't illegal. When was that? Trying to reach Mexico. I like how there's both Spanish and English there. I mean, I guess it reflects how we'd be talking. I guess it feels good to assume that not everybody wouldn't understand the Spanish. Trying to reach Mexico. I guess let's say that.
En realidad, queremos llegar a México. ¿A México? No mames. ¿Pero por qué?
Entonces son gringos.
Sí, nacimos aquí, pero ahora tenemos que irnos.
Todos estamos escapando de algo.
Es la tercera vez que intentamos cruzar la frontera.
Not tired. Why? You're brave. Yeah, I feel like why... The why makes sense to me because if you're trying to make sure that your kids at least has, like, American citizenship, the timing makes sense to me. So you're brave.
Son muy valientes. Y además estás embarazada.
Mi Carlita es la mujer más valiente del mundo. Y la más inteligente también. En nuestro pueblo era profesora.
Queremos que el niño nazca en este país. Que tenga la nacionalidad.
Queremos darle una vida mejor a nuestro hijo o hija.
It's also really hard when there are a great deal of professions that, like, the training or certifications or license just, like, isn't recognized in America too. So you go through all this time, energy, and effort to become whatever profession you are in another country, and then you come over and suddenly it just, like, doesn't count. That's very disheartening. Isn't it the easy way what my father did? Not in El Dorado. Let's go with what my father did. Because, like, that is a connection.
Es lo que hizo mi papá. Se fue de México cuando murieron sus padres. Para ganarse la vida. Pero yo sé que extrañaba su pueblo natal.
Por supuesto. Pero seguro que tuvo sus razones para irse. Como nosotros.
No quiero desanimarte, amigo. Pero lo de México no va a ser fácil para ustedes. Es un país magnífico. Y me cuesta muchísimo dejarlo, pero allá va a ser muy complicado cumplir tus sueños.
Ya no tengo sueños aquí.
Sean, has vivido en este país toda tu vida con un padre mexicano. Y ahora los tiempos han cambiado. ¿Cómo crees que va a ser todo en el futuro?
Feels like the game really is dropping more of those hints that maybe Mexico isn't the best option. Again, this idea that your father left for a reason. I also feel like this is the most I can't speak English. This is the most that we've spoken Spanish the entire game. We are integrated. I'm pessimistic. It's getting better. I mean, we are pessimistic. Let's go with I'm pessimistic.
No sé, creo que soy un poco pesimista. En el camino, no solo me encontré con gente amable.
Me imagino.
She's sighing at us.
Extranjero. Tienes que trabajar aún más duro para arreglártelas. Así funciona.
Oh, shit. Enough now. It's America. We speak English.
We're just talking.
No, the problem is you people breaking into my country.
We come here to work, not steal or live at your home.
Diego.
No, I am so fucking tired. You only come here to cause trouble. And we have to pay for your welfare.
I don't work in, like, welfare areas, but I'm pretty sure that you can't qualify for welfare if you aren't a legal citizen. So I don't quite see the logic in that. So I guess I'm talking about, like, food stamps and what's the other fucking thing I'm thinking of? I can't think of whatever the other fucking thing is, but, like, those kinds of welfare type programs, like, you can't qualify for unless you're a legal citizen. So that argument doesn't quite make sense to me. There's also a, like, very sociological perspective in that there are there are jobs that are considered not very highly desired. Garbage man, I guess, is always an example that comes to mind, where society looks at it as, like, we don't usually aspire to that. We don't usually say, I want to go to school to be a garbage man, for example. But within society, there's still a need for it. As in, like, someone has to very much fill those roles for society to function the way that it is currently functioning. As in, we don't have robots to fill those jobs or things like that. So if nobody were to do those jobs, something about society would kind of break down. So a lot of times, maybe there are people who end up filling those roles that other people may consider undesirable. So if someone were to come, if let's say this couple came in to America and took those jobs that are considered like not desirable, that fills a very, like that fills a need for society that we can't really deny. So even when people make that argument of like they're stealing our jobs, that argument doesn't quite feel like it hits for me either, because again, the jobs that someone oftentimes, the jobs that are available for someone who isn't a legal citizen are different than the jobs that are available for legal citizens. And oftentimes those jobs are, again, playing a very functional role within our society that other people may not want. When I hear some of these arguments, what comes to my mind is that sometimes there are people who have an advantage politically if they have a scapegoat. And sometimes that scapegoat becomes people from other countries. So it's kind of like saying things are broken in our society, and here's the reason why. It's because people take our jobs. And so what happens then is people hate on others because we've heard that political rhetoric over and over and over again. But really, that political like argument or that political rhetoric is making someone a scapegoat. But that still has consequences. That can still cause things like racism or xenophobia, and that can still cause hatred. And that hatred has an impact on people's lives. And I feel like this is some of the political connections and the connections to history that this stuff can have.
You all want a free ride, and that makes me sick.
You're generalizing. Stop causing trouble. Immigrants built the country. Ooh.
We only want work and
I didn't have time to respond.
And in peace.
Yes. An honest job and the ability to raise our child in a safe country. That's all we're looking for.
That's what you people always say. But the facts speak for themselves.
You're a bigot. My dad worked hard. Ooh.
Your facts are just bigotry and hatred.
Yeah, I hate what you did to my country. Our borders. We have a right to protect our sovereign nation, and we will.
Damn right, baby girl.
You hunt us like animals.
I don't think I have a choice. I want the safest country for my children.
You shot a child!
A family like us. We don't go walking hundreds of miles in the desert and risking everything for no reason. We do it for our child. A mother must understand.
No, you and your unborn parasite have nothing in common with me and my family.
That is such a hateful statement. People are people. If this character was put in the exact same situation, you know, this couple was talking about it as though there was poverty, as though there were other things going on where they were living. If this other character was living in the exact same situation, wouldn't they be doing the same thing? When we have a different level of privilege, it can be hard to see that.
What?
Maddie,
What'd you say?
Oh, see? There you go.
take it easy.
This is our country.
Calm down. I say calm down because, first off, I felt that was timed. But again, this character, the girl, Madison, whatever her name is, we're not going to change her minds. This type of hatred is something that is just ingrained, and I feel as though it takes something from her. Like, it takes something from the person who's experiencing these beliefs to really cause that change. And we have to be ready for that. It's like a great deal of other types of changes within our own personal belief systems. Like, we have to be ready for that. We have to want that. So we can't just like spit facts at someone and have them change. if that were true, people would change like political sides all the time and religion all the time. These are other very controversial type topics where we just know that we can't change someone's mind. So I feel like I guess my concern is that if he doesn't calm down, and don't get me wrong, I realize that telling someone to calm down just doesn't make them calm, but I want to at least try. Because my concern is that if he lashes out at her, that may have bigger consequences for him. And I don't want that.
Solo vas a empeorar las cosas para ustedes.
That's my thought.
Tienes razón, amor. No vale la pena.
Whether you people like it or not, we're not gonna give you a break.
You're in jail too, loser.
Why are we stuck down here with them? You know us. We're helping you, goddammit!
Hey, you have the right to remain silent.
So use it.
Fucking use it, okay?
All right.
Diaz, you're up.
How's my brother?
Don't worry about him. Now turn around. Hands behind your back.
You can't just say that though, and instantly the worry will leave our body. I have no idea how much is left in this game, so I'm gonna stop here. A lot has happened. God, a lot has happened. So, in this video, we got to the border, we tried to leave, and we met some lovely people. Oh my gosh, lovely people. We've had some amazing conversations about racism and xenophobia, and all of these conversations are tied to, they're very complicated conversations. They're tied to history. They're tied to politics. And when we talk about things like racism, sexism, all the isms, I don't believe that this means that someone is inherently flawed. Because if we say that someone is inherently flawed, that means they can't change. And I believe that change is possible. I believe that change is incredibly difficult and it often takes time. And it's often more difficult if someone doesn't want to change. And potentially they may not change because they don't want to. I believe that those things are true, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. It may not happen, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. And I think that these are important things to recognize when we talk about hateful belief systems, because it is so easy to shame, blame, and guilt a person because of their belief system. We can recognize that things like racism are a product and a result of generational teachings. Maybe even their own generational trauma. That's not an excuse. But we can recognize that that's maybe how it came about. We can recognize that changing these beliefs is inherently hard, not as an excuse, but we can recognize that is a factor in why these things continue for as long as they do. And we can recognize that people who carry these beliefs are not flawed as people, that these are belief systems that they carry, which is separate from the person themselves. And I say all of that because if we go about trying to change these things, we're more likely to get defensive if we think that it's a people problem and not a belief problem. And the more defensive we are, the less likely we are to make any changes. These things are always incredibly hard to talk about. And I recognize that I'm talking in super generalities that can be hard to apply to individual situations. But I also recognize that these things are important to talk about because these things do impact our lives. And so the value that I see in this is that if we can talk about this, and maybe if you can get something from this that can be helpful in some way, shape, or form, that's the goal. So I would love to hear your thoughts on the game and the video, and I will see you next time.